Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into one of the most powerful technologies out there, machine learning. We're going to break down what it is, why it's suddenly everywhere, and why some of the smartest folks in tech are calling it the new electricity.
So to really get a feel for just how big of a deal this is, let's do a little thought experiment. I want you to picture it's the year 1900. Electricity is this new, kind of magical thing. At first, people just see it as a better way to do an old job, a replacement for the candle. But what they couldn't see yet was that this force would go on to power entire factories, connect the whole world, and totally reshape society as they knew it.
And that's where this powerful analogy from AI pioneer Andrew N. really hits home. Just like electricity came along and completely rewired every single industry a century ago, from farming to manufacturing, artificial intelligence and its core engine, machine learning, is poised to do the exact same thing today.
So what is this new electricity, really? What makes machine learning so different from how we've been telling computers what to do for decades? Well, the answer comes down to a really fundamental shift, a move away from rigid rules and towards learning.
Think about it like this. For the longest time, programming a computer was like giving someone super specific turn-by-turn driving directions. Go 2 blocks, turn left, go 500 feet, turn right. If you missed a single step, the whole thing fell apart. Machine learning, on the other hand, is like giving someone a map, 1,000 photos of the destination, and saying, figure it out. It learns from all those examples, not from a strict list of instructions.
This classic definition actually goes way back to 1959. An AI pioneer named Arthur Samuel built a program that could play checkers. Now, the cool thing is, he wasn't a very good checkers player himself, so instead of trying to program in all the best moves, he designed it to play against itself over and over and over. And over time, it started to see patterns and learn strategies that he had never even thought of. It literally became better than its own creator. And that's the core idea right there. It's learning from experience, not just following orders.
Okay, so machine learning isn't just one thing. It's more of a big toolbox, with different tools inside for different kinds of problems. And they basically fall into 3 main categories.
First up, we've got supervised learning. And you can think of this one as having a teacher. We give the computer a huge data set that's already labeled with all the right answers. For example, we could show it thousands of houses, telling it the square footage of each one and what it eventually sold for. The machine studies that relationship, so when we show it a brand new house, it can make a pretty good prediction of the price. This is what's behind things like your email spam filter or a sales forecast.
All right, so next up is unsupervised learning. And if the last one was a student with a teacher, this one is more like an independent explorer. We give it a ton of data, but this time with absolutely no labels, no right answers. We just tell it, go find something interesting. Think about how Google News works. It scans millions of articles and automatically groups them into related stories, all without a human telling it what the day's big events are. It's awesome for discovering hidden patterns, like segmenting customers or finding weird transactions in financial data. And finally, there's reinforcement learning, which is probably the easiest one to picture. It's a lot like training a dog. You don't write down a bunch of rules for how a robot should move its legs to walk. Instead, you just give it a goal and a system of rewards and penalties. Every time it takes a step forward, it gets a treat, a reward point. When it falls over, that's a penalty. And after millions of attempts of trial and error, it figures out the best way to walk all by itself. This is the magic behind how AI learns to master complex games like Go, or how self-driving cars learn in simulations.
Now, you might be wondering, if some of these ideas have been floating around since the 50s, why is this revolution happening right now? Why does it feel like it's suddenly everywhere? Well, it really boils down to 2 key ingredients that finally came together at the perfect time.
The first ingredient is just a mind-boggling amount of data. Because so much of our lives, our shopping, our conversations, our photos, is now digital. We're creating this enormous ocean of information. And all of that data is the fuel. It's the textbook that these learning algorithms need to study from to get smart. And the second ingredient is just raw, brute force power to process all that data. And the crazy thing is, the engine for this revolution came from an unexpected place: video games. It turns out that GPUs, those graphics chips designed to make games look amazing, are also perfect for the kind of math that machine learning needs to do. They changed everything.
So, when you put those 2 things together, the fuel of massive data and the engine of powerful computing, this whole transformation explodes, and it's no longer just happening at the big tech companies out in Silicon Valley.
I mean, just look at how far this is spreading. This isn't science fiction anymore. We're seeing it on factory floors, predicting when a machine is about to break down. We're seeing it in hospitals, helping doctors spot diseases in medical scans. It's in logistics,
optimizing shipping routes to save fuel, and even in law firms, sorting through millions of documents. It's becoming a basic tool of the trade, everywhere.
So that leaves us with a really important final thought. This new electricity isn't just some tech curiosity. It is a fundamental force that is actively reshaping our world, industry by industry. And understanding how it works, well, that's the first step to figuring out how you can harness it too.